San Juan. You must remember that day. I think it was at 85. San Juan,
Oh, San Juan.
Puerto Rico, outdoors.
Oh God, in the rainstorm.
Yes.
Oh my God. And I want to say we wrestled Barry Orton and somebody else, but I remember they threw the main event on first, our second, because they wanted to make sure the crowd got to see it. But we were sitting there. Honest to God, the rain came down so hard, and I was in the ring, and I couldn't even see where Brian was. And it was funny because our plane on the way out of there that night got hit by lightning, scared the crap out of me. And it was a big DC-10, and it just hit and shook, and I thought, oh shit, here we go. But I remember that night because it was so hard, and there was actually a puddle in the ring, the water, and it took, my boots were so wet, it took about 4 days for them to dry out. They were, and it was, I thought, what in the world are we doing here, you know? And yeah, that was probably the most precarious match I think I had in my career under, you know, the circumstances of the weather.
Yeah, you've got Gorilla Monsoon under a tarpaulin calling
God,
matches.
yes. Yeah, it was crazy.
I think Jesse Ventura just left. I think he was commentating. He just got up and went.
Oh, I know it. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Who did you say that you were wrestling? I've just looked it up.
Pardon?
Who was the tag team you said you thought you were wrestling?
I thought it was Barry Orton and Mike Sharp. I don't know. Who was it?
Absolutely. You are absolutely right.
Yeah. And it was, my mind still, my wife says my mind's going, and sometimes I question it. But I remember, you know, different instances real well, but, you know, I might go downstairs and forget who I just had the interview with. So that's probably the worst thing that all the wrestlers I know are, you know, worried about, is concerned, is, you know, dementia, because we, you know, you can't help it. You know, I got to tell you a quick joke about Bobby Heenan. He was in Minneapolis and he had a book, and he was on a local radio show, which is a huge radio station called WCCO. And there was a talent, his name was Dark Star, and he loved Bobby Heenan. So I brought Bobby to the studio, and we're sitting down, and I'm not saying anything. And Dark Star is going back and forth with Bobby Heenan, and Bobby's got him laughing like a son of a gun. So Dark Star said to him, Heenan, he says, I know, he says, you've been hit by a lot of objects, but he says, and I know you've been hit by steel chairs. He says, I just want to know, how many times have you been hit in the head with a steel chair? And Bobby looks at him and he says, Dark, he says, I've been hit so many times in the head with a steel chair. He says, the top of my head smells like ass. And and this Dark Star fell out of his chair laughing. This was live on radio, you know, and he went crazy. And I'll never forget that. That was the funniest thing. And it would just came to Bobby like that.